Well, how was that extra hour of sleep, everyone? Are you feeling well rested? Anyone still feeling exhausted? I see some nods. Feeling like you can't manage the weight of the world and all that is before you, responsibilities to work and family, to causes, to your own self care, to exercise. There's so much that demands our attention, and we're pulled in different directions. And I imagine many of you are tired. Thankfully, self care is at the front of our consciousness like maybe never before. But in a changing world where society has shifted towards experiencing community virtually, working remotely, and placing a reduced emphasis on steadfast commitment, providing greater accommodation to people's personal needs, it has become more difficult to show up. When we feel the weight of the world or the gloom of the season, or overwhelmed by war and terror, by gun violence, climate catastrophe, the long road to reconciliation and justice for Indigenous peoples, it's easy to just want to shut down. And all of this makes engaging in our community more challenging. We as a congregation have already handled so much tumult and change, and we're holding together well. But we continue to have disruptions in our gathering, things unexpected. At the time of choosing this topic, I'd assumed I would be sharing this sermon in person, but now we're on a 10-week hiatus from OCI, just as we were really starting to settle in and get comfortable there. But even though we are online for the coming months, it's imperative that we keep showing up for one another, showing up for this congregation, showing up for the causes and cares that mean so much to us. And why do we show up when it feels so difficult? Because deep down, we know that engaging with our community feels good. Take a look, if you will, at the gallery of the faces gathered here. And if you're willing, take a minute to share your camera. This is fellowship. This is why we come together, to see the bright faces, some bright smiles, maybe some sleepy faces too. Go ahead and turn the page and see who else is here today too. This is our congregation. And I want you to tap into that love you have for these people and for this place. Scan those present today and settle on somebody who touches your heart. Recall a good memory that you have of that person. And someone else. And someone else. Maybe you want to share that memory with them sometime in the coming week, or just send them a note of thanks simply for being present. And now take a look at those who are not with us today. And we mourn the loss and memory of those who have departed. But considering those who are still with us but not with us, is there someone in the congregation that you've been in relationship with, whose presence among us you miss? Let's let them know and see if we can draw them back into the fold. This congregation is going to change tremendously over the coming years, and not everyone is going to make it through the journey to our new home, to a new settled minister. But with a little bit of help, with small acts of reconnection, drawing people close, we can hold more people in the nucleus as we journey together. Charles Vogel, in his book, The Art of Community, 7 Principles for Belonging, explains the difference between a group and a community. This is worth considering as we look at groups within our own congregation. A group shares a common interest, a common cause, a shared belief in that cause. But in a group, the people aren't really connected to one another. Take, for example, something like Greenpeace or the American Medical Association. A community differs, and that within a community, there's also mutual care for the well-being of the members. Not just caring from the top down from the organization, but from within that interconnected web of which we all are. We invest much more in community when we feel the love and care for and from others. We're all looking for belonging. C.S. Lewis, in his work, The Inner Ring, recognized humanity's curse of always seeking narrower circles of exclusivity, of the excitement of entering into a more closed ring. And to resist this insatiable desire, instead, Lewis said, to find something you like and do it often, and invite others to do it with you. The people who join are new people to be in relationship with, bonded first by that common interest or cause. And the passion that people bring to those special interests of theirs is infectious. That builds community. I was noting I'm seeing the chat now. I'm sorry. Charles Vogel, Vogl, wrote this great book called The Art of Community, 7 Principles for Belonging. I would recommend it to anyone in the congregation or congregational leaders. And within that book, Vogel references this work by C.S. Lewis about these increasingly narrow circles of exclusivity. But yes, the remedy to that is to find something you love to do, bring people together, and do it. Again, we're all looking for connection. Loneliness causes such suffering. And how fortunate are we to be in a community where we seek connection with one another? The number of people who say that they have no one to talk to, who say they have no confidant, has tripled in the last few decades. People are not participating in formal religious organizations as much. Traditionally, the places that brought people together of shared values. And thankfully, of course, we still see the value of religious community. But at the same time, 1/3 of adults in the United States are religiously unaffiliated. And I would imagine the number in Canada to be even lower. And it isn't just religious institutions that are in decline. In the 70s, 2/3 of adults participated in some kind of club. And even into the 90s, that number had shifted to 2/3 not participating. We see some of these generational shifts by looking at millennial generation that many of us still think of as being young, but our millennials are now entering the heights of their careers. They're more interested in values-based activism than prior generations, but they are not into organizational baggage. So they have left that behind long ago. They like high-density living, being close to the action in urban villages. They're more likely to join a cause, and they want to make a difference in their communities and be leaders. This is evidenced in the high rate of charitable giving among high school seniors, which one study put at 84%. We're all desperately seeking connection, purpose, and meaning. If you have a look at the congregation's annual report, you will see that it gives such a great picture of the vitality of our congregation. If you had any doubts about our activity and energy, I encourage you to take a look at that. We have so many activities and causes with so many people involved, supporting them as volunteers. We have many official gatherings, opportunities for connection. You can join a journey group, join the choir, play bridge, attend the awakenings, poetry, or meditation groups. You can get involved with our social justice teams, the Green Sanctuary Group, the Reconciliation Working Group, the Refugee Sponsorship and Settlement Committee, the Amnesty International Group. And now you can join the relaunched dinner series. What better way to connect with members of the congregation than over a great meal and conversation? And as noted, upcoming, you'll have 3 opportunities to connect with the congregation in person in the coming months: an open house with Reverend Victoria and leaders at the end of November, and our winter solstice and Christmas Eve morning services. And you can always hold unofficial gatherings, making connections on your own initiative. While respecting boundaries, consider who you have a close enough relationship in the congregation to schedule a small group to enjoy an autumn walk together, a chat over tea or coffee, maybe a trip to the AGO. What if we measured our congregational health, strength, and success not by the number of people in a Zoom meeting or in the worship space, not by the amount of dollars pledged, but how many text messages or phone calls of care and concern our members sent to one another? How many attended social or social activism events together? How many took a walk, had a beverage together, watched a documentary, or read a book and talked about it together? When we strengthen these interpersonal bonds, we strengthen our congregation. If we take care of those interpersonal bonds, the rest of our congregational matters will take care of themselves. So in this month where we are exploring the theme of generosity, consider the generosity of your presence, of intention and care with our fellow members. This congregation is not the building that we are in. It is the people and the relationships therein, and it's those who are present. So let's keep making connection with one another. Let's keep showing up, keep reaching out to those that we care about. The road may be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Whoa, yeah, yeah. Whoa, yeah, yeah. Whoa, yeah, yeah.